Hello everyone, this is Dan Place Hunter Farming. Today we're reading Isaiah 10 from the New National Version, also known as the NIV version. If you guys are not going to be long, you guys can go to classaboutilgate2.com or you guys can go to Yumbawa. I don't really care how you use when I do, but let's get started. Isaiah 10, New National Version, NIV version. Woe to those who make unjust laws, to those who issue oppressive decrees, to deprive the poor of their rights, and withhold justice from the oppressed of my people, making widows their prey and robbing the fatherless. What will you do on the day of reckoning? When disaster comes from afar, to whom will you run for help? Where will you leave your riches? Nothing will remain but to cringe among the captives or fall among the slain. Yet for all this, his anger is not turned away. His hand is still upraised. God's judgment on Assyria? Woe to the Assyrian, the rod of my anger, and whose hand is the club of my wrath. I send them against a godless nation. I dispatch them against the people who anger me, to seize loot and to not plunder, and to trample them down like mud in the streets. But this is not what he intends. This is not what he has in mind. His purpose is to destroy, to put an end to many nations. Are not my commanders all kings, he says. Is not Calno fair like Carchemish? Is not Hamath like Arpad, and Samaria like Damascus? As my hand sees the kingdoms of the idols, kingdoms whose images excelled, those of Jerusalem and Samaria, shall I not deal with Jerusalem and her images, as I dealt with Samaria and her idols? When the Lord has finished all his work against Mount Zion and Jerusalem, he will say, I will punish the king of Assyria for the willful pride of his heart and the haughty look in his eyes. For he says, by the strength of my hand I have done this. By my wisdom, because I have understanding, I removed the boundaries of the nations, I plundered the treasures. Like a mighty one, I subdued their kings. As one reaches into a nest, so my hand reached for the wealth of the nations. As people gather up abandoned the eggs, so I gathered all the countries. Not one flapped a wing or opened its mouth to chirp. Does the axe raise itself above the person who swings it, or the saw boast against the one who uses it? As if a rod were to wield the person who lifts it up, or a club brandish the one who is not wood. Therefore the Lord Almighty, will send a wasting disease upon his sturdy warriors. Under his pomp a fire will be kindled, like a blazing flame. The light of Israel will become a fire, their Holy One a flame. In a single day will burn and consume its thorns and its briars, the splendor of its forest and fertile field will completely destroy it. As when a sick person wastes away, and the remaining trees of his forest will be so few that the children could write them down. The remnant of Israel. In that day, the remnant of Israel, the survivors of Jacob, will no longer rely on him who struck them down, but will truly rely on the Lord, the Holy One of Israel. The remnant will return, the remnant of Jacob will return to the mighty God. Though your people will be like the sand by the sea, Israel, only a remnant will return. Destruction has been decreed, overwhelming and righteous. The Lord and the Lord Almighty will carry out the destruction decreed upon the whole land. Therefore, this is what the Lord Almighty says. My people who live in Zion, do not be afraid of the Assyrians. He'll beat you with a rod, and lift up a club against you as Egypt did. Very soon my anger against you will end, and my wrath will be directed to their destruction. The Lord Almighty will lash them with a whip, as when he struck down Midian at the rock of Horeb, and he will raise his staff over the waters as he did in Egypt. In that day their burden will be lifted from your shoulders, their yoke from your neck. The yoke will be broken because you have grown so fat. They enter Aif, they pass through Migron, they store supplies at Mikmash, they go over the pass and say, we will camp overnight at Jebeh. Ramah trembles, Gibeah of Saul flees. Cry out, daughter Galim, listen, Lasha, poor Anathoth. Madmenah is in flight. The people of Gibeon take cover, this day they will halt at Nob. They will shake their fists at the mount of daughter Zion, at the hill of Jerusalem. See the Lord Almighty will lop off the boughs with great power. The lofty trees will be felled, the tall ones will be brought low. He will cut down the forest thickets with an axe. Lebanon will fall before the mighty one. Guys, I would hope that you enjoyed, and I'll go and see you next time. Bye.